Hey good people, welcome back to Beauty and the Frizz. My name is Cara. Whether you're new or returning, thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me for another one today. Today we're talking about how much did I spend in May. If you are interested to see how much I spent in May and what I feel about all of these purchases, keep watching this video. Let me know what you think. And if makeup is your therapy and your love, if it makes you happy and you want to hang out with someone that feels the same way, definitely consider joining the community. I'd love to have you back. All right, let's get started. So how are you? I hope that you are doing well and swell. So let me tell you about this video. So first of all, shout out to my friend Jamie over at I Am Jamila, because she did a video recently about her April/May expenses, and she had this disclaimer in the beginning, you know, about how much money she spent and just about the fact that she kind of didn't want to do the video. And I was talking to her and I was like, oh my gosh, I feel the same way, because I sat and looked at my bank account and was just looking at everything, and I was like, there's no way. Like, how do I feel like I bought less things and spent so much more money? And we'll talk about that in this video as the video progresses, but that was one thing that I was, looking at and questioning. But then I was so thankful because I went back, and this is why I'm glad that I did this. I went back to the April video and realized that some of the things that I bought in April didn't process in my bank account until May. So I was actually doubling up on a couple of things, and I'm so thankful I went back and watched the video. I mean, I'm not saying it took like a significant amount off, but it did though. It was like a couple $100s. Yes. So I was so thankful. I crossed out 5 things. Without further ado, let's get started. And at the end, I'll tell you if I have any regrets and what I'm thinking about this hobby. This isn't gonna go in order as far as how I purchased it, but I did try to group these, whether they were fragrance, whether it was Klarna from the Sephora sale from last month, because I couldn't forget about that, and then makeup. And then of course, I'm gonna tell you the money that I had come in from YouTube and various things. We'll start with Lucky Scent. I spent $179.90 on the Accident à la Vanille by Juicy Parfums. I talked about this perfume in my May roundup, and I really love it. It smells like a strawberry pound cake. It's just so great. Like, if you like anything with strawberry, you want to smell sweet and edible, that is a really nice one. It is only available at Lucky Scent, that particular Creme de la Berry fragrance. Then I made a purchase from Bath and Body Works for $163.51. Now, during this time, they had a lot of their body sprays on sale, but also their wallflowers. Honestly, I would not include wallflowers in a makeup purchase, but I just didn't feel like going through and separating it out. So this was a combination of about 6 body fragrances, body sprays, and maybe one of the body creams, and then wallflowers, because I love those things. So that's what I spent at Bath and Body Works. I feel like the wallflowers, I don't know, do y'all feel like they use up pretty quickly? Because I do. I feel like all of them, not even Bath and Body Works, but like even those Glade plugins. I'm about to go back to essential oil diffusing, but essential oils, they're more like medicinal smells. I don't have any that are more of like gourmand. I mean, I have some vanilla, but there's no like cherry essential oil flavor. You can get like a fragrance oil, but that's not what I want. Okay, let's move on. Now that was gonna be it for fragrance. So I was very excited and proud of myself because I continuously see samples that I want to try, and I've been trying to hold off because I have a bunch that I haven't really had a chance to test out, so I can let you know what I'm thinking about them. I don't have any regrets about these 2 purchases at all. Now let's go to Klarna. There were 5 Klarna purchases. I want to say I spent a good $600, close to $700 at the Sephora sale. Totally lost my mind. Totally got everything that was on my loves list. I don't know why they were separated like this, but it's just how they were separated. But I knew each payment was going to be about like $150 or so. So the 5 payments, they were broken down. So I have $34.55, $122.53, $34.56, $122.54, and $34.56. So that Sephora purchase is completely paid off, and it's over and done with. So there will not be Klarna payments for next month. So that's great. And you know, it did make it easier for me to budget, because I wasn't going to be able to put that money out all at once. But that's also something to think about. Like, should I buy it if I don't have it? You know what I mean? I mean, I had it, but did I really? You know what I mean? I had it, but I like to have a certain amount of money in my account and things like that. So that's just a question for me to think about. Now let's go to the makeup. I had the Sydney Grace May bundle, which was $30.20. Notoriously Morbid. I purchased the Path to the Light Side palette. That was $39.69. That has not arrived yet. Odin's Eye, I bought the new collection. Was it the George collection? I don't know, because it's still sitting in the box and the palettes are still in wrappers. I'm still so excited to use those palettes. I've just been wearing less eyeshadow lately. $72.62 for that collection. I also did 2 Natasha Denona purchases because the Yucca palette released and I forgot to get the liners. So the palette came to $72, and the pencils, I got all 3. Those came to $69. Then the last 2 purchases I had were from Clarity Cosmetics. I ordered the Apocalypse palette and then a few singles and an eyeshadow primer. That came to $85.22. And then I got the Adept Seahorse palette. That was $113. And those were my expenses. Now, let's talk about the Klarna payments really fast. As I said, that was from the Sephora sale, and I really am enjoying all the purchases I got from Sephora from the spring savings event, many of which were fragrances. So I am enjoying those. I'm also really enjoying some of the standouts, which were the iconic London blushes. I love those. I really love those. As far as fragrances, I got Angel Share, Vanilla Woods, Princess. I mean, I am wearing those all of the time. So I just have no regrets. I got the Plum Plump moisturizer from Glow Recipe. I bought the Natasha Denona Glam palette. I bought a Sephora fragrance sampler. So I really don't have any regrets on what I bought from the VIB sale. The Notoriously Morbid palette I don't have yet, so I can't speak on that. The Sydney Grace bundle, I love getting those bundles. Like I said, Odin's Eye, still very excited about having them. Cannot wait to use the Clarity palette. I'm very excited about that. Love the Natasha Denona liners. They are really nice. I'm putting them right up there with Victoria Beckham. I'm not sure which is better. Now, the 2 things I'm kind of about, to be honest with you, are the Natasha Denona Yucca palette and the Adept Cosmetics Seahorse palette. Now, let's start with Natasha Denona. The reason that I feel a little wishy-washy about ordering that palette is because I was gifted the Nomad palette, which is almost the exact same color story. The more I think about those 2 palettes in particular, the mattes from the Nomad palette, I think might be deeper, and I just think I'm enjoying those more. The Nomad shimmers were nice. I think the Natasha Denona ones might have been a little bit better, but the quality of the Nomad shimmers was pretty good. I talked about the Clarity Croc palette, which I might like better than the Nomad and Natasha Denona palette. How likely is it going to be that I use the Natasha Denona palette? How likely would it be for me to combine the Natasha Denona palette with either Nomad or the Croc palette. Those are the things that I'm thinking about. So I'm kind of side-eyeing myself on that purchase. The Yucca palette is very nice. Like, I'm not saying that it's not. I'm saying for my collection, you know, is it adding anything? I'm not going to say that I need it, because we know I didn't need it. But is it really adding anything that I don't have? The answer is no. I just like Natasha Denona, so it serves that purpose. The second purchase that I'm kind of side-eyeing, to be honest with you, is the Seahorse palette from Adept Cosmetics. And I'll also speak on Ketracel because I don't think I had Ketracel in hand in the April video. I'm not sure if I had done a video or used it. I'm not sure. The Seahorse palette, I haven't used it on my eyes yet, but I did do swatches on a black base as well as just swatching it on my bare arm. When you have a lot of indie shades, it is nice. It's very nice to have them all in one palette. There's a convenience there. But when I think about all of the indie shades I do have and the indie shades that I have in palettes, I'm not feeling like this palette was a palette that was made for me in particular because of the collection that I have. There are two blues in that palette that are really close as far as how they look on the eyes, in my opinion. And I wasn't too happy about that. Is it beautiful? Yes. But I also have Plain Jane Remastered, you know, and I didn't even go to compare it because at this point I'm like, I know I have dupes for most things somewhere, but I just really have to continue, or at least start, not just talk about it, but really ask myself, is this like adding something to my collection? You know, is this serving any type of purpose, you know, beyond just feeling the buyer's high? I don't necessarily regret it. I can't say it until I really try it out, like on my eyes, but the fact that I haven't been dying to do that kind of speaks for itself. The Ketracel palette, I want to say I talked about this in my May roundup. I didn't need it. I've got caught up in it being limited edition. I got caught up in the cream highlighters. Is it beautiful? Yes. The shades that were the powder shades, I just don't see myself reaching for them because I felt like the lighter one was a kind of messy. And if you want to use the shades separately, you're going to have a really thin, tiny brush and also have a lot of time on your hands because you can only pick up with so much shadow with a thin, tiny brush. But because those shadows were in these small little strips, and I'll have to pop a picture up because I'm talking so much in detail about it, it may not serve the purpose that I thought it was going to. Now, if I'm going to just swirl the whole thing, fine. You know, that's going to be easy, but to get use out of all of those colors is going to be a little time consuming. So I don't really feel like I needed the Ketracel palette. Again, that's kind of a thought on last month's expenditures. But we're going to get into the grand total because I've held y'all for this long. The grand total with everything was $1,173.88.
You need to leave. It's disgusting.
I was like, Cara, no. Like, no, this is ridiculous. Now, I get the Klarna purchases, so I know I don't usually spend this much. But even taking those out, it's a lot. I just continue to reflect, but I need to reflect and actually put the action into it because, you know, when you get tempted, it's really tough sometimes. So let's talk about the money that I had come in, and then we're going to knock this down and see where we ended up. Let's start with 2 PayPal transfers that came into my account. I don't know if this is from Macari or what, but I have it written down here. So I had one for $25.80 and one for $26.42. And then I had some money come in from Unearthly Cosmetics from Lynx. That was $96.40. And then I had my money from YouTube, Google AdSense. That was $134.59. And then I had my Notoriously Morbid affiliate link money come in, and that was $303.27. Then from other affiliate links, I had $36.70. So I took that off. Then on top of that, listen to how unorganized I am. A while back, maybe probably close to a year now, I told you how I was going to put money over on a Cash App card, and that's how I was going to buy my makeup. Well, had money over there, didn't use the card. I don't know why. I really can't tell you why. I took the $300 that was on Cash App and just put it back in my account to just account for some of these expenses. From the $1,173.88, taking all of that away, I felt so much better after this, but I'm still not super happy. I spent a total of $302.92 in the month of May.
Destroy.
Now, it makes me happy to see how much that total has come down, but I'm not happy with that total, because at this point I could be purchasing some things and actually saving some money instead of kind of being in the hole, if that makes sense. Ideally, it'd be great to break even, but I would love to see myself save more. You know, as I am putting a lot of thought into goals, you know, that have nothing to do with makeup, I'm just looking at this and I'm like, Cara, you have things in your house that need to be fixed. You have trips coming up, you know, you have a trip that you want to plan. So I've got to get this stuff in front of me so that it is just in my face so I can keep things in perspective, because I feel like I lose my perspective really easily, and it's easy for me to rationalize a purchase. And a lot of times it has nothing to do with doing it for a video, because y'all know I don't consider myself to just be a review channel. Like, oh, I know everybody wants to see this. Like, that's not my thought process. This is just stuff that I just want because I want it, and then I'm gonna do a video on it because I have it. That's what I've got to really work on and get together. And the thing is I know it can be done, because I've done it with food. I've said, I'm not eating meat, I'm not eating cheese. It's been like a month. You know, I'm not saying that I'm not gonna go back to it, but it was easy for me to just do it. And I love food. So I know it's very, very possible with this situation. I was, you know, looking already at makeup releases for this week that I want to talk about this weekend. And in my video for Purchase or Pass last week, I talked about the Blends palette and how much I want it, you know, and I'm just like, Cara, you've got Odin's Eye here. You've got Apocalypse. Like, you have these palettes that you created from Lethal. I mean, I've got palettes that I've only used one time. I don't know if I can really bring any more eyeshadow in right now. And the only thing that I am kind of not waiting on, but thinking about, is Pat McGrath is going to do a mothership. So I know that's something I'm going to get. But some of these other palettes that I'm getting here and there, I just don't really think they're going to add to the quality of my collection. You know, I was looking at the new Shroud palette, the Peaches and Dreams. I'm like, it's really cute, but like, are you going to wear it? Probably not. It's not even, can I dupe it? Because the answer is yes. Am I going to wear it? I think the answer is no. I have so much, and I'm always talking about having a grateful heart and talking to the boys about having a grateful heart. And it's like, I want to practice that too. I want to practice being grateful for all of this makeup in my collection that's taking up so much space that I'm not using, you know, and I don't want this to trigger anxiety for me. Like, oh my gosh, I have all this stuff and I'm not using it, you know? Now, the fragrance purchases, let's talk about those. I'm loving them. I am, because I feel like with those, I spray them, you know, multiple times a day. I'm layering the fragrances, trying different things out. I'm actually using up samples and, you know, making, I think, smart choices on like what I would get a full bottle of. It's just that those cost more than these palettes. So I just have to think about what's important, what can I wait on, and how I want to move forward, and how can I be more aware of what I own when I see these releases come out that excite me. Kind of rambling because I'm just kind of talking to myself right now, but I've got to put some things in writing, you know, some written goals, because written goals really help me a lot. And I'll let you know what I'm thinking. But right now I'm thinking eyeshadow, I need to chill. Blush, I need to chill. Like, I don't know what more I could want at this point. Lipsticks are another thing I need to think about. Like, what do I really need? How can I effectively speak on something that I'm not using, you know, or not using up? That's why I like the fragrance samples are cool, because it's like, oh, I wore this a few times. Like, I don't have any left. Like, am I still wanting that? Am I still wanting to smell like that? But I can't say the same for this makeup. When it comes to the eyeshadow stuff, I have so much that I'm not using any of it consistently. So yeah, that's where I'm at. And I know when we have hobbies, you know, we may have more than one of something, you know, but it's keeping the other goals in different areas of my life in the forefront, so that I'm not having these regrets. So, and luckily I don't have too many, but I still think I have some work to do. So I just want to be transparent with you all with this makeup journey that I'm on. I know that some of you've got your budget down pat, and when you say you're on a no buy, like, so many of you are so strong. Like, I'm not getting this, or I said I'm not bringing any of this in my collection. I want to be able to set those types of boundaries as well, you know, because I'm always talking about setting boundaries with people and things in your life and doing things. I think I need to set a makeup boundary, and yeah, we'll see how this evolves. But again, transparency is what I'm about, because I'm an enthusiast just like you all, and I want things just like you all. I am grateful that I can offset some of the cost, but I still want to do better. So let me know your thoughts on this video, and you know, that's it. Thank you so much for taking out some of your time and hanging out with me for another one. I hope this was therapy for you. It always is for me. And until I see you again, make sure you are being gentle with yourself. Talk to yourself nice. Stay safe. I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.